I'm just gonna start recording right now. let, me, let me get close. Let me get close to you. Oh gosh. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Thank you for stopping by to my channel. I am Nishmi. So I am coming here today because I have something that I want to share and just get off my chest, and I want to share it with the intention that it helps someone. It helps someone to give themselves space to breathe, space to be. So, first things first. Hey, boo, hey. I'm back. Tippity tap and let's chat, honey. So, I have been on this earth for quite a bit. Like, I've been on earth for a while now. Okay, we're not giving out no ages. Okay, but I've been here. And with my history, with my life, I've noticed that I have had multiple passions. I've had things that I've been interested in. I've picked up interest from other people just because I wanted to help support them in their interests. And sometimes I found myself beginning again and again and again. And before, I used to feel like, oh my gosh, like I just can't never figure it out, right? Then, people started posting content and just sharing, like, being multi-passionate. And I was like, whoa, that's me, I'm multi-passionate. But then it's like, okay, once you get this label, okay, I'm multi-passionate, what do you do with it? And that's where I was. I was like, okay, I love this and I love that and I love this and I love that. But what do I do with that, right? And so I said, okay, I'm going to try to, dibble and dabble into these things and just, it would fulfill my needs of being involved with the things that I am really interested in, that, I just could do all day long for free, absolutely free. You know what I mean? But then when it came to like sharing on social media, and so those of you who are watching right now, you could be content creators or you could just be viewers. But if you're content creators, you will understand when I say, when you have one side of the aisle saying, niche down, and then the other side of the aisle is like, no, just do you. So it's just like, what? Like, oh, like, seriously, like, what? And that's where I found myself. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about all the different platforms, how they work, the different types of content, and just how to really keep up with the algorithms and things like that. Basically, overloading my brain with information. I'm a Gemini, so information is like cupcakes to me. It draws me in. So I was like, I'll just keep on consuming the information. But sometimes you got to stop consuming the information and gaining more knowledge and act. And that's where I found myself, because I'm just like, okay, I'm studying, I'm learning, but I need to act because I have all these things building up in me. I have all this experience, this knowledge, these lessons that I've learned that I want to share. And yes, I share these things with my children. I share these things with any young people I come across, anyone that I feel that the information may be helpful to. But it's like, I wanted to do it on a larger scale, right? I want to use my social platforms. And so then I say to myself, how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I express my love, for people? How can I express my love for God? How can I express my happiness for my healing? How can I share the lessons that I've learned all in one? And so, first and foremost, I was having a conversation with one of my daughters, and I gave her some, I won't even say advice, just some suggestions, because I feel like sometimes when we're talking to the adolescents, it's better to just suggest. We want them to be able to use the skills that we've given them to make decisions for themselves. So giving advice, yes, that's fine, but a nice suggestion and why you're suggesting it, goes a long way. So I'm having a conversation with her, And she's like, wow, Mom, thanks. She was like, you just saying that one sentence to me just opened my eyes to a world of possibility. And I was like, you're welcome. Now go, go think on that, right? I don't want to overload her, right? So then I'm talking to my other daughter later on in the same day. And so I'm like, okay, like I'm teaching you guys all these things, and there are kids though that don't have this information, and I want to get them this information. I literally started an entire business around trying to get this information to adolescents, to children, to parents of children, right? Guardians, if they don't have to be parents, guardians, anybody who have a child in their life, right? So I started a whole business around it. So I'm telling my other daughter, like, how can I get this information out? Because like I want to express myself about spirituality. I want to express myself about the lessons I've learned. I want to express my passions. I said, and it all is surrounded by growth. And then boom, a big old light bulb, gigantic light bulb, right? Went off. I told my daughter, I was like, you're absolutely magical, like so magical, like you're out of this world. She's looking at me all crazy, right? But she understood what had just happened. And I'm just like, yes, your mama is not just one thing, but I'm all about progression. I'm all about growth. I'm all about healing. So I am so excited. I am so excited because I just have so much insight. Like ever since I was a young child, I would say it was elementary school age for sure, younger than 10 years old. And I've always known, because I started going through things and experiencing some really heavy things early on in this existence, right? And when I started experiencing a lot of negativity and those like different experiences that were heavy for me, I didn't quite understand, but I understood that they hurt. I understood that it was not okay. I always knew that I was gathering this information. I always knew that my experience was going to be transformed to help someone else. I always knew it from a little child. I always knew it. And no matter where my life led from that point, whether, I was in middle school, high school, college, and beyond, no matter what my experience was, what I was doing with my life at the time, I always felt, and so I felt the pain. I was carrying the pain for a long time. I carried it like a giant, like, dragon on my back, right? And not to demonize dragons, because they are beautiful. And they're purposeful, exactly the way that God made them, right? But I was carrying it around as this, let's call it the biggest burden. And I just had this weight and this pain in my heart. But even with the weight and the pain, I still knew this information is going to transform the reality for someone else. 1 second, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Sorry about the noise. But anyway, so I always knew that pain, I didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew that I was going to be able to transform someone's life for the better. I knew that my pain and my hurt was going to save someone. It was almost like I knew my calling before knowing what a calling was, right? Oh, I always knew. And it took me a long time to really get in line enough and have my mind, functioning and just wired. I won't say wired, because you can't rewire a mind. Well, no, you can't rewire a mind. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I could have a whole conversation just going back and forth between my thoughts, my feelings, and my knowledge. Anyway, so I didn't know how I was going to do it, right? But then, life was lifing, And to be completely transparent, I was just a bystander in my own life, just allowing people to do and say and be the main characters in my life, because I just didn't know how to step into that for myself until my accident. Until my accident a few years ago. And it took me a while to really get through the physical symptoms of, you know, having a head, like a traumatic, head injury. But once I got through the physical things, then some mental things started happening. Things were moving around, and some things didn't make sense, some things didn't line up, and it was like a I don't belong here type of situation. And then when I was like coming to, like, wait, I am me, I think I do belong here, and so when that came together, it was more like, whoa, like, hold up now, like, how have I been surviving? Because suddenly my mind was able to see and understand exactly what was going on. Now, and I understood some things, prior to that, but it definitely was not on the level that it was on after my accident. And so, even though it was a very unfortunate situation, I am blessed enough to be able to see the blessing in it, right? And so, anyway, let me come forward. So, anyway, I started to think to myself, like, how can I share these things? And so automatically, with my logical mind, I thought to myself, let me start a business. Not realizing, like, no, do not start a business by yourself. You are just starting to learn the typical side. Okay, you're just starting to learn the neurotypical side of life. And so, unfortunately, I didn't have anyone around to say, do not do this on your own. You are just learning how to exist on the neurotypical side, coming from divergence. And I'm not saying that the accident removed it, but it definitely changed it, because some things just started to really make sense afterwards. And so, long story short, even though God knows I don't know how to tell a short story. Well, actually, I have written a short story. But anyway, so I am here now. And I'm just like, it's time. It's time to just allow myself to just be, right? Be free to be. That means just allowing all of the colors, all of the aspects out. No holding back, no hindrances, no borders, no blockades, none of those things, because that is not going to allow me to accomplish the goal of sharing the information that I have been accumulating this entire time. This entire time. And yes, we have the internet, okay, obviously, because I am on here talking to you, we have the internet, and the children are learning things from the internet, yes. But are they always consuming things that is going to actually allow them to make informed decisions? Are they always consuming things that are going to direct them in the way to think critically? Are they always consuming things that truly inform them? That is something that I am so hell-bent on when it comes to my kids, is making sure they are fully informed. Like, honestly, my kids probably were too informed too early, but I did and I do what I think is best when it comes to informing them, giving them knowledge, and telling them about different situations and how they can save themselves or how they can make sure that they're okay. Listen, all the content out here that they're consuming is not giving that information. And every child does not have this information in the home. So I am here today. I am here. Thank you, God. I am here today because now I'm realizing, and I am still, listen, my divergent mind, okay, and my neurodivergent mind and my neurotypical mind is still meshing together. But because I have two different scopes because of what happened, I just feel so much more enlightened and I feel so much more prepared. And I also feel that because of what I have gained from that experience, I can pour more direction, more strategy, more intention into my children, into any children, anyone that comes across me, because I have two different scopes, I have two different perspectives. And honestly, like, just from the depths of my heart, I just want to help. I literally just like, now that's one thing that has not changed about me. I have always wanted to help and I still want to help. And so, as you continue, and I'm so thankful for you to be here with me right now, as you continue to visit my channel, just know that every piece of content is just a little piece of me, just a little piece of what's inside that I want to share with you, with everyone, with the world to help. And so, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope this video, this content, this talk that we have had has shed light on someone's mind to say, you know what? I've been sitting stagnant too long. I've been doing research too long. I have been gathering knowledge too long. It is time for me to act. It is time for me to step in to that just action mode. You know, just be free to be. This is your world. This is what I tell my kids all the time. It is your world. Follow your happiness and take care of yourself. Okay? I love you and God loves you. I will see you soon.